Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having a great day or night in Jesus. I want to talk to us about Apostolics and Beards. Weirdly enough, this has been a thing on the internet. I'm not on social media. Our church has a Facebook page, maybe an Instagram page. We've got a YouTube channel, New Life of Albany. It's not Steve Waldron. I'm not on social media, but it is a deal. So years ago, I had done a video or two about the apostolic movement and beards, and I actually named it, What's the Deal About Beards in Conservative Churches? But it's because it's not just the apostolic movement, it's like, and not even churches, it's like the New York Yankees, Wall Street, clean shaven, this type thing. My sister worked for human resources at Unisys and got way up. She said at one time years ago, she was like 16 or 17 people from the top of Unisys, and which may seem like a lot, but Fortune 500 company, you're way up there. And so my brother has worn a beard since he was like 16 or 17. I remember being in the back of a car. We were going out west. Dad always had model change with GM, so we got 3 weeks off. So I can remember Lamar growing the beard. My brother's name is Lamar Waldron. You can check him out on Amazon, YouTube. He's famous. Not me. He's famous. You may never heard, but trust me, he's famous. He runs with the hoi polloi. And anyhow, so my sister just said, first thing, Lamar, if you want to get a job, you got to shave your beard. And so it was part of American culture. And so I'm concerned that some of these videos that I've done are getting conflated with people preaching conferences and people playing clips from conferences and stuff like that. So you can even read about Liberty University, Jerry Falwell. I was reading a book about Jerry Falwell, the moral majority, and he mentioned in the 70s, they did not allow beards at Liberty University. So why was that? Well, it was American culture. Okay, World War II, Korean War, almost all men went into the military. The military basically made you shave your beards. Maybe all your facial hair. I'm not sure about mustaches, but basically did. So it was considered like the standard. So in the 60s come along, the Beatles are clean shaven. All of a sudden, the Beatles, who wanted to be more popular than Jesus and all that thing, wore beards. And then Anton LaVey has a goatee, a goatee. Then people start noticing Karl Marx had a beard. Castro, the communist, had a beard, even though Lenin was pretty clean shaven, and, Stalin just had facial hair, and Adolf just had some facial hair, mustache and all this. And so it became in the 60s this real big deal. Don't have beards. And again, it was more of a cultural thing. I don't think, some tried to make it a biblical thing, but it was more of a cultural deal. Is what it was. And so there's still people that don't feel comfortable with men with beards. They clean shavenness, and polls until just recently always showed that people trusted people without beards in our culture and in our society more than with beards. And this was just, these are not people, like I've been getting a lot of yelling and comments on these videos. Well, these are just facts. Yell at the facts. Those are just facts, okay? And so some people thought, well, if you're more trusted, like the Mormon church, I'm not sure you can wear a beard in the Mormon church. At least you couldn't for a long time. They were clean shaven. And it was just because you wanted to be seen as more trustworthy. And it was American culture. Didn't have anything to do with the Bible, except, that I'll eat no meat while the world stands, and I might win somebody. I know of a few people arguing that Jesus didn't have a beard and all this. Actually, in doing biblical archaeology, I've got a Biblical Archaeology Today podcast with Steve Waldron, and a couple about the earliest depictions of Jesus. Jesus wasn't depicted with a beard till like the 5th century or something. He was almost always depicted clean shaven before that in the catacombs and various pictures, the Deir Europa Church and all this. So that's fascinating. But I do think Jesus had a beard. I think they plucked his beard and on and so forth. And I think it's a Romans 14 issue. I don't think it should be a contentious issue. You can be clean shaven with a bad attitude, and you can have a beard with a bad attitude. And the key is, you want by faith to love one another. And that's the thing. But that's kind of the deal with Apostolics and Beards. Many people, the founding fathers of the Apostolic movement in the early 1900s, had facial hair, indoor beards. I think D.C. Operman did. Probably some others had beards, and then others had mustaches, like G.T. Haywood, wonderful man of God, had a mustache. And this type thing. So I think it was a cultural phenomenon based on almost every male was drafted into World War II and into the Korean conflict and on through Vietnam, and that clean-shaven look was just seen as kind of almost an American look. There's probably more to it than that even. And so then rebellion became associated with the beards, and that's just kind of where it all started. So just pray, just know you're not your own, you're bought with a price. I'll eat no meat while the world stands. I don't want my brother or sister to fall. So really just pray about these things and keep a good spirit is the biggest thing. So keep right with God. Keep your heart right with God. He cleansed our inside that the outside might be clean as well. So Matthew 23. God bless you. We love you. Check out our other videos. Join us daily. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.